Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk and Travel with Terry and Darcy, your hosts from opposite coasts. My name is Darcy McKillop. I'm on the East Coast, and with me, as always, is Terry Hawkins from the West Coast. How are you today, Terry?
Doing great there, Darcy. How are you out there on the East Coast?
Good day on the East Coast again. Spring's definitely here. Weather's getting better. Snow's melting. How about the West Coast?
Good. We've got some good golfing going on here, and pretty much all the golf courses are open again. So
Nice. We'll have to come out and golf.
come out anytime. We'll do some golfing, hit some wineries.
Sounds like a good day. All right, so back this week again for our weekly travel news updates. So we'll jump in with our cruise news to start off with. Once again, coming out of the U.S., the CDC is dropping the COVID-19 travel health notices for cruises. So the level playing field is now back in play. So cruising will be treated the exact same way as every other type of travel in the U.S. It'll make it much easier for people to cruise, and we'll see what the cruise lines do and how they adjust their own protocols as we move forward.
Keeping in fantastic cruising news, several cruise lines have stepped up to help Ukrainian refugees and to help their crew on board and the cruise families there. So that's incredible to see. There's several cruise ships in Europe right now that are being used to house Ukrainian refugees. You've got some great news on the environmental front for cruise lines too, Darcy.
One of the, I think, leaders in the cruise line of creating a better environmental footprint, Hurtigruten, who also runs Hurtigruten Norwegian Coastal Express, which is their ferry service around the coastal areas of Norway, have announced that they'll have their first zero emissions ship in place by 2030, which is should be great for Norway specifically, but the environment as a whole. So another great move from Hurtigruten.
And moving over to Disney news, Walt Disney World has announced that guests might have access to the Lightning Lane for only 2 to 3 attractions per day. This is because of the growing number of crowds and the growing popularity of the Lightning Lane and Genie Plus.
And I think it's good to point out that Genie Plus and Lightning lanes are still fairly new, so there's going to be hiccups, and it's good to see at least Disney's trying to work through some of those and move along. But Disney also has some great news on the cruising front as well with their latest ship, the Disney Wish, which is scheduled to sail its first sailings this summer. It's now moved into the Ems River, heading to the North Sea to do some finishing touches and sea trials. So it looks to be still on target to offer those first sailings later this summer.
That's going to be great. I know a lot of people are very, very excited for the Disney Wish. And speaking of final touches, all Walt Disney World resorts are now open. So the last of the All-Star resorts has finally opened its doors, and it's great to see that there's full inventory available here again.
Excellent. Make it easier for people to find a place that want to stay on property. And I think a pretty important date coming up in the future, June 23rd, which is Terry's birthday. So Disney decided to celebrate that by bringing back the Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review, which will be music to a lot of people's ears, but very popular.
It has the best fried chicken. Great way to celebrate my birthday. And, another way to celebrate, hugs are back at Walt Disney World. Character interactions are back. So that is great to see, no longer requiring those big distances. It's going to take some time for all of those to come back to full interaction, but it's coming very soon.
And more great news. And again, some news I think that we kind of alluded to a few weeks back. For those of you who love the Epcot's International Food and Wine Festival, it's slated to begin for this year at June 14th and will run to November 19th. And it was simply a fall festival. It was difficult for us to travel with the family in the fall. So this certainly makes it much easier to get to the festival and see what type of food and wine is available from not only the countries in the World Showcase now, but numerous other countries that are brought in as temporary pavilions for the festival.
And in the last of our Disney news, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is going to have its opening date announced very soon on Monday. At the time we're recording this, that's tomorrow. There are signs that it's going to open much earlier than expected. Exactly when that opening is, Darcy and I were discussing this before. We wouldn't be surprised to see them opening up in July. It also wouldn't shock us if they opened up on Friday. Like they seem to be that close. And it was a really fun little teaser that they dropped on Friday there on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, so looking forward to that one. And moving on to our other news that we found this week, and good news for some of us. If you need to renew your passport, or maybe lost your passport at some point in time, the Canadian government's announced that they have effective immediately made the process much easier. They're simplifying the process to renew expired, lost, or stolen passport. You no longer need to have a guarantor or provide any original documents about proof of citizenship or your photo ID. You simply get your photos done, have 2 references, and complete your paperwork, send them the money, and that's all you need to do. They'll get that passport looked after for you. So great news, Terry, I think.
Yeah, I feel a little singled out on this news there, particularly since I've gone through the entire old way of doing it, and it is a very lengthy and cumbersome process right now. So this is great news going forward. I pick mine up tomorrow, so... And some other really fun news here. Las Vegas is going to be hosting the Formula One race on a Saturday night in November in 2023. The course is going to be nearly 4 miles long. It's going to include part of the Las Vegas Strip. Drivers are going to be racing past Caesars and the Bellagio fountains. Darcy, I know you're a really huge Formula One fan. This is got to be really welcome news for you.
When I saw the graphic of what the track layout is going to be, I think it's going to be a tremendously fast track because there's not a lot of turns in this track. So it should make for a pretty interesting race, especially night races in Formula One are always interesting, and the Saturday night is different from Formula One as well. It gives a lot of people a lot more choices for North American Formula One fans. Canadian Grand Prix will be coming back this year. The U.S. Grand Prix has been held the last couple of years, I think, at the Circuit of Americas in Texas, and they recently announced also a new race in Miami coming up on the Homestead, in the Homestead area, I believe it is, on the Hard Rock Stadium. So big time for Formula One expanding in North America.
And you've got some other news, I believe, there, Darcy.
Yeah, I've made it my mission for this show to find flight news for every show. And again, I managed to do that. I managed to find good news for East Coast travelers or people trying to get to the East Coast, especially from Central Canada, with Porter Airlines. Porter Airlines, we made an announcement earlier, one of our shows with Porter and Transat had created a code-share agreement. And this recently, Porter also announced that they're adding back some flights, some non-stop flights, Billy Bishop, Toronto City Airport. And those non-stop flights will be coming out of Halifax starting at the end of this week or later this week, and Moncton and Fredericton starting the 1st of May on May 5th. So you'll have direct flights into Billy Bishop, and that also allows you to make connections to a number of other places throughout the U.S. and other places as well. For more options, also over the last 2 years, a number of Canadians, where they couldn't travel a whole lot outside the country, were coming to the East Coast to experience our hospitality here. So more ways for you to get back into the East Coast if you're coming from other parts of Canada as well. So great news for people wanting to travel to and from the East Coast.
Absolutely. I look forward to trying out Porter Airlines one of these times there. So maybe when I pop out to see you here, I'll make sure that I make the connection through Billy Bishop and hop on over.
That would be great. It's a good little airline. They're comfortable planes, and they treat you well. So that brings us to the end of our news updates for the week. So again, we hope that you're enjoying what we're doing, and we should have some more supplier videos coming out shortly. But if you like what we're doing, click the like button, click the subscribe button so you get notifications of when we post new videos, and share them with your friends. The more people that see this, I think the better, and get that travel news out there. So from the East Coast this week, my name's Darcy McKillop again, and hopefully we meet soon and get you traveling. Off to you, Terry.
Terry Hawkins out here on the West Coast. And just remember, Darcy and I can handle any of your vacation needs. Give us a call, shoot us an email. We're happy to help you out. Have a good week, everyone.
See you, everyone.